Hi, Kat. So we've lived together for nearly 3 years.
Yeah.
What did you know about the community, about asexuality before you met me?
I knew basically nothing about asexuality. I basically just didn't really know that it existed. And I didn't know anything about the spectrum or anything like that. And I guess I probably wasn't altogether convinced when I first met you.
You thought I was just making it all up?
Well, no, it's just that everyone was kind of like, okay, maybe you just haven't found the right person. Everyone was like,
yeah,
that's probably just the case. But then, well, I guess now I know so much more about it because I've just lived with you longer.
and you can see that actually isn't because of I haven't met the right person, I haven't done these things, that it's the way I am.
It's just part of you. Yeah, exactly. I think that was just, it wasn't exactly that I didn't believe you. I think that it was more like everybody else, not everybody else, but because other people didn't believe you as well, or like were kind of like, okay,
Bit sceptical.
a bit skeptical. It like didn't help shift the balance because there were so many more people that didn't know about it than the one person who did. And like the whole thing about being like, and I can't remember what it's called, but when you're like sexually attracted to somebody or romantically attracted to somebody, and the separation of those things, it's really interesting.
Yeah, I guess it's not something that comes up a lot in terms of other sexualities, but with asexuality there's very much a big divide between who you're attracted to sexually and who you're attracted to romantically.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that now, but that was something that I like would never have, like I'd never encountered in any other aspect of my life. And like like we were saying, like I didn't know anything about, like I remember talking to you about when you're like, yeah, asexuals masturbate.
Really?
And
We're going
the scratch and the itch kind of phrase. And that was really interesting because I guess when you think about sexuality like that, it really changes how you view it, and it really like opens up like how you can be sexual and like with who you want to be sexual, and like even if I'm not asexual, it doesn't mean that like it can't open my mind to different ways of thinking about it. Do you see what I mean?
I guess it's a difficult sexuality to describe, really, because I was talking to one of our other housemates about it the other day, and she can't understand how I can't experience sexual attraction.
Yeah.
But then also I've got no benchmark to measure it against either.
Yeah.
I can't describe this is sexual attraction because I don't experience it. I don't actually know what it is.
Yeah. And I mean, we've had, I partially remember having conversations with you about like what words you would use, like whether someone was hot or like things like that, and I know that like has added to some of our other housemates' doubts or like skepticism in the past, without having those kind of conversations.
And how about in terms of the community as a whole? Because obviously I've been heavily involved with the LGBTQ plus society here at uni, and just it seems like a lot of my life at uni has been surrounded by the community. Were you aware of many other people before you started?
I was aware of them, but I didn't know they cared so much about stuffed animals. That's the
no, that's just me. And a few others maybe.
And those blimmin' dragons, I remember bringing them into places because you'd forgotten them.
Oh god, yeah.
Being like, why am I doing this? It doesn't make sense to me.
Basically we use them instead of putting up a flag or anything, we use them as way markers, because it's kind of a thing in the asexual community of being an asexual dragon, because they're both mystical beings. They don't actually exist. So yeah, that's why we had the dragons, and that's why I had to bring them into uni so many times.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that, I mean, I knew about the community, but it just, I guess I didn't really think either way about it. It was just another group that was there that I could have been part of, but didn't feel the need to.
And now, do you feel like you have a better understanding of things, of the alphabet soup of the letters?
Yeah. I feel like there's definitely. Before I met you, I wouldn't have known like really where to go to find out about things, but now I know I can talk to you. That makes it easier because I can just ask you things. Especially like we're saying about like scales of things. And going back to that, I was thinking about it like the whole thing of detaching romance and lust. That I remember that's being such a switching point of like, oh yeah. And I remember like our other friends saying about how they weren't really attached for her, and so she didn't mind if her boyfriend was going to sleep with somebody else because she still romantically cared about him and that wasn't important for her.
Yeah.
And I guess that kind of solidified the idea in both ways towards both people.
Nice.
Does that make sense?
Thank you very much for joining me in our living room to have this chat.
Of course, you're welcome.